Back in February of 2022, a game that would revolutionize gaming and become one of the best games of all time will be released. Elden was a game released by FromSoftware as the newest soulsborne game, a subgenre of gaming first created with the release of the game Demon Souls. This subgenre typically refers to games which are very hard in nature due to the difficulty of its enemies. There have been a lot of people who have tried to play these games only to give up on them due to their difficulty and never going back. Only a few had actually stuck to playing these games until the end and have been fans of the subgenre ever since. Because of the difference in these games compared to others, those who stuck with them and played through them quickly grew to love them for both the gameplay and the lore as well as the world building. This led to the company gathering a cult following who will praise these games above all others. Over the years, this cult following kept growing with more people falling in love with the games, especially with the release of the Dark Souls games, which became really popular upon release with many content creators playing them even to this day. However, while the Dark Souls games brought a lot of popularity to the subgenre, it still didn't make it popular enough to essentially reach mainstream, with other games still outshining them overall. That is, until Elden Ring was released. This felt like the game we all needed during a time when most games that were releasing felt like a copy and paste of each other, with many of them copying things from other games. Sequels which didn't really make much changes from the first game, multiple games being remastered, unfinished games, and worst of all, microtransactions progressively becoming a big thing in a lot of these games. FromSoftware changed all of that by releasing a game that felt new instead of feeling like a copy and paste of other games, had a beautiful vast world and amazing lore. This game was limitless, and the best part about it was that the game was finished and it had zero microtransactions. This led to the game becoming a sensation and the main topic among gamers at the time, with many getting the game to try it and falling in love with everything it had to offer. Even those who weren't fans of Soulsborne games became really engrossed in it, and this led to the subgenre reaching new heights like it never had before. With a world where your options were limitless and you could choose to play the game in any way you wanted to, there were many content creators who started doing challenges with the game, like bow only runs or beating the game without leveling up once. This led to even more videos of the game popping up online, bringing even more popularity to the game. All of these things led to the game winning Game of the Year, and it was well deserved. Well, the Eldenring DLC came out recently, and so I haven't seen a lot of things about it online everywhere. Because of this, and some of my friends playing through it, I started thinking about the game again after not playing it for almost a year. Seeing so many videos about it made me want to play it again. That's when I remember, I never actually finished the game. I distinctly remember I started playing other games with my friends, mainly Valorant. I'm starting to see a trend in my videos as to why I haven't really played through games in the last few years. Anyway, I remember having a lot of fun with the game and how excited I was to finish it and roll credits on it. I love playing through it and growing along with my character as I progress through the game, learning about how to deal with all kinds of enemies and feeling the satisfaction of finally beating a boss. Even just exploring the map in general and finding secret caves or cool weapons and items inside chests or just laying around in the world. Not to mention the lore. It had been a long time since I had gotten really into the lore of not just games but about anything. I remember being so into the game, but even then never actually finishing my playthrough. So, after thinking about it and becoming really interested in it again, as well as remembering how much fun I had with it, I decided to go back and finally finish my playthrough. I wasn't sure when the game I had left off, but after loading it up again, I realized I actually didn't have much to do for the ending. It turned out that I was at the fire giant, so all I had to do was beat it, set the tree on fire, and then go through a train of bosses to get to Radhan and the Elden beast, then beat them and finish the game. That won't take long at all, right? Well, as soon as I started my first attempt against the fire giant, it became really clear to me that the year I had spent away from the game made me lose the already little skill I had on it. I was struggling. I was having trouble remembering the controls and figuring out when to dodge and when to attack. The pacing of the game was really throwing me off. Something I remember happening to me back when I played the game for the first time, but I had forgotten about it since I had played enough of it to not even notice the delays of the enemy attacks. I was used to the timing of the game, something I lost after not playing it for so long. So, I did the only rational thing to do in that situation. I kept fighting the fire giant until I got used to it again and finally beat it.
But I haven't gotten it, so I guess it ain't all that bad.
After that, I went through and progressed through the story beating the rest of the bosses. Yes. Oh my god. Wow.
In my bones, a tarnished cannot become a lord. Not even you.
I wasn't recording.
Alt F4.
Alt F4? I can't do that, dude. This is
Alt
Elden Ring
F4.
on
It didn't save. It
PlayStation.
hasn't saved yet. It hasn't saved.
The
Alt
trophy
F4.
pops
Oh, it
up.
saved.
The
It
trophy
saved.
pops up.
Unplugged it. Unplug
The
it.
trophy pops up, Nash.
Can you
The
can
second
you
you beat
clip
a
on your
boss-
computer?
The second you beat a boss, Nash, it saves the game.
Some of them give me more trouble than others, mainly the LMPs. Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god! Finally! Oh my god, Jesus Christ, this took way longer than I thought it will. Oh my god. A whole day. And finally, I beat the game. Ronnie is best girl, I don't care what anyone says.
Well then, shall we?
Yes. Yes! Oh my god. That was amazing. That was great. Loved it. So much. I hated the Elden Beast, but I loved the game. Oh my god. And even though I didn't play a lot of it this time around compared to the first time I played it, I can say that this game is truly a masterpiece. Elden Ring is more than just a game. I'm not sure how to explain it, but I hadn't been engrossed in a game this much in a long time. It might be hard for someone who hasn't played the game to understand, but this game changed my perspective on many things. Not just in video games, but in life as well. I guess this applies to every Souls game out there, but for me, even though I've played some of them like Sekiro and Bloodborne, Elden Ring taught me about never giving up and keep going. There's always a way, even when things might be hard and it might feel like you're at a standstill and you can't do anything about it, there's always a way to progress. Whether that is tracing back your steps to find ways to level up or more powerful gear, or going in with a different approach, you can always find a way to succeed. In the end, you have two choices. Give up and put the game down, or keep going and find an approach that works. This makes me think about life itself. We all have things we want to do, and there are things that make it harder for us to achieve our goals. And sometimes those things can either break us or make us stronger depending on how we take them and deal with them. We can either get back up after being knocked down and keep going, or give up on our goals and just accept life as is and be okay with however our life continues from then on. In the end, for those who decided to get back up and keep going using a different approach until they find a way to succeed, the satisfaction at the end of it all is all worth it. Every major boss in the game was one big obstacle towards my goal, while every other small boss or enemy were smaller obstacles preparing me for the bigger goal and teaching me what I needed as well as giving me the experience to be able to beat the big obstacles. Take a job for example. Everyone starts off with a position based on their experience. This will be whatever class you start off with in Elden Ring. After that, you work yourself up through different positions like stalking, in which stage you're in Lingrave. After that, you go up to team lead, which will be Leonio of the Lakes. Then management, which will be the Mountaintop of Giants. And then you keep going until you achieve whatever position you're aiming for. Like a corporate position for example, which in Elden Ring will be Elden Lord. That's just an example, but you could also relate it to school, where every exam is a major boss. Quizzes are minor bosses and assignments, and homework are enemies you find throughout the world. In the end, while some of these obstacles may seem impossible, once you manage to get past them, the reward and satisfaction for it makes you want to keep going until you reach your goal. Elden Ring has made me appreciate a game in a way I hadn't in a long time. It has quickly become one of my favorite games and I cannot wait to dive into the DLC. I truly believe everyone should play this game at least once and experience it for themselves. Elden Ring is a masterpiece. After gathering my thoughts, I got curious. How do others feel about this game? I decided to ask some of my friends that have played it how they feel, and this is what they had to say. Alright, so in one sentence, how will you describe Elden Ring?
If I had to say, I love mommy Melania.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Can I return your question with a question?
Sure, I guess.
Do you like to be dominated and beaten and abused? If you do, if you're one of the people that do, no judgment or anything, you would love this game. Go buy it. It's great. 10 out of 10. Best game ever.
One of the only games where you can go from being choke slammed to enjoying a nice, beautiful view.
Blood and ice. Cool.
It is a captivating game that I hold all other games to this day.
But I also want to know, if you played it, in one sentence, how will you describe your experience with it? I would love to know your thoughts on the game in the comments down below. Thanks for watching until the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. Have a great morning, day, or night. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.